Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com and Heirloom Creations, and I have with us today in our filming studio Nancy Bednar, and she is the serger expert from Bernina. I'm going to say you're from Bernina. That's how I met you.
That's how we, absolutely.
Gosh, we were counting up how many years ago, and you've kind of like always been in my life. Like from when I started working for Bernina when I was like 21, that was a long time ago. So we are so excited. We were able to have Nancy come and do a serger workshop, and we are totally exhausted right now, but we've had so much fun. We wanted to kind of tell you what we were doing because we've had a lot of people online ask about your serger pattern.
Wonderful.
How did you come? Tell us what it is, and then tell us how you came up with this. And then we've got some serger ideas and inspiration that Nancy brought that I want to show you at the end.
Okay, well, Sarah, the way this actually happened is during COVID times when I thought, you know what, I'm sitting here, I have all this creativity that I want to share with people, and so I thought, well, I have skills of some sort. I can do things. Yes. And so I started thinking, what were my most popular classes when I would teach live? Because we were all in that kind of crazy time when we weren't really going anywhere. So I thought, I love the Serger travel bag. It looks high-end. It doesn't look like your typical Serger project. And as Sarah is showing you, it actually is done with all the beautiful cottons that you can find in your quilt shop. And there's an abundance of those that are just waiting for you. And there's some Serger skills in there that use basic stitches in a new, refreshed way. And what I thought is above and beyond the bag, I had students that actually, we have two different versions here. The students said, well, you know what, this bag is nice, but I'm a little scared of doing that. So you know what, I need something smaller. So what I decided was, I'll write patterns because I love to write. I did several books. And so I thought, I'm going to do little bonus projects in the patterns that I write.
You do, and they've loved this.
I know. And so the bonus projects are use 2 or 3 of the skills in the big bag, in the big project. And then they learn how to, it's just a little less daunting to approach something large that is just big. That's it, it's not difficult.
So our group today was kind of a lot of newbies. So this was a great project for them. So they were really just pulling out their serger. Some of them had threaded it, some of them had taken a guide class, and then before they know it, they wanted to learn more. So this was the perfect project I think, for them to start. So before we get too far into this, I want to make mention that we're going to put links below to Nancy's pattern. This is called the 3-Pocket Serger Travel Bag.
Yes.
And they can order it right off your website, which is great.
NancyBednar.com.
Yes, and before we get again too far, I got to put a little plug in here because you are the author of this book, and we can still get this book on Amazon and various places. Creative Serging. And you kind of co-authored this, and is there a little story on the book when you kind of were making all this? I do notice some of the samples that we're going to show you are actually part of the cover of this book. They're right here.
Yes.
So tell me about the book.
The book is a story on how it came to be.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a short version.
Okay. Ann Vanderkelly and I were fabric shopping. Ann lived in Australia. When she'd come up over, she'd stay with me. I would take her to my favorite fabric store. She would buy oodles and oodles, send it back home. Over a sangria lunch, we decided that we were going to give ourselves a book. We were going to do a book, and we went back. We went to the fabric store again, and we bought fabric for a book that didn't even exist yet. On the napkins, we scratched out the chapters, and here we are.
You had me at sangria. We had sangrias last night.
Yes, we did. We did.
Yes.
Yummy.
So this is like an encyclopedia, because I do kind of call you the walking serger encyclopedia.
Thank you.
And yes, you can make a serger kind of sing, and that's kind of what your life journey has been.
Yes, but it doesn't have to be hard. We take these stitches step by step. We tweak them a little bit, and that's as hard as it gets. And besides the big project, I have little small projects that just talk about serging on sticky fabrics and doing the zippers on the serger. So there'll always be within the pattern a big project and some little projects too.
That's a great idea. And you've got some plans for some future
ideas.
I sure do. We're going to let her come out with them before we totally tell you what's coming.
Right.
But I had her bring in a few of your samples. You want to tell what you've done on this little onesie?
Little baby onesie. Best quick baby project ever. Just on a onesie, you just draw 3 lines across butt height or whatever you'd like to.
Right.
Yes, and this is actually a 3-thread rolled hem using differential feed across the ribs of the onesie, so they make this darling little ripple.
So I wonder if that would help me. No, maybe this is for certain ages. We should probably not put ripples through the middle.
I think I probably have my own, so that's okay. But that's fun.
It.
Everyone loves it.
Yes, and the 3-thread overlock. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with that. And I noticed we did something on the Serger bag because it's got a lot of techniques. Is we did a 3-thread rolled hem, I should say. 3-thread rolled hem, and then we rolled hem the rolled hem.
Yes, and I call that micro piping.
It is such a nice way to make it kind of stand out, and it kind of helped fill it in, which I know some people's rolled hems aren't as.
There's fabric showing in between.
Yes.
And I'd like to see as if you took a marker in a different color and outlined a different piece of fabric. And that's an easy way that you can do it. Anybody who has a rolled hem on their serger can do this stitch.
Which if you have a serger, you can do this.
Yeah.
The other thing we did do, and if you haven't watched our videos on the cover stitch only machine, we've got a couple of those. We use the chain stitch to quilt this.
Yes.
And this is through the what products inside?
Soft and Stable, my most favorite filler product ever.
And we could just go right down the middle. So if you had a cover stitch machine, a chain stitch is just a cover stitch with 1 needle.
Exactly.
Good. You want to talk about this one?
Yes, definitely. And this is actually in the book, and it was another rolled hem project, but using a woven fabric. So these are bias cut strips of a fabric that's called assorted fibers. It's kind of a mystery fabric. But when you have a rolled hem and differential feed and fabric that's stretchy all by itself by the angle you cut it, you actually get these marvelous ripples. And this is just this really fun textural scarf. It's just thread and a machine adjusted a certain way.
Yes, and it looks so luxurious.
Well,
this is so pretty.
Yes.
And yet the texture, I think that's what we're looking for.
Little bead dangles on the tails. It's just super fun.
Well, speaking of texture, you are not a quilter, but this is actually, let's hold this up. Sure. And this is actually also in the book.
Yes,
I'm told.
And I was lucky enough that they put it on the front cover, which was not my choice. Anne was mad, but that's okay. I said, honey, I didn't do any of that. So anyhow, these are poppies, and these are poppies that are done with chain stitching between 2 layers of salvie and a piece of silk organza.
Oh my goodness.
I know, isn't that fun? Loads and loads of stitches. You stitch, and then what I did is cut out a petal shape and rolled hem with wire. In the rolled hem.
I love wire.
These are moldable petals using jewelry wire. And that's how the little poppies were born.
Yes, and I was noticing you just kind of fluff them up because they've been in your suitcase as
you
travel.
They do. They mush down, but you can
they
reconfigure
look amazing.
them.
Yes. And then again, people have been so interested in the cover stitch options. And let's show them your plaid that you've been working on.
Oh, so fun, so fun. These are cover stitch plaids. And these are done with alternating rows of cover stitching and chain stitching. Best thing about cover stitching and chain stitching is it's upside down serging. So it's kind of drama serging.
So if you have kind of been looking at our Stitching Cosmos online course where we do talk about bobbin work, this is kind of like, well, it's not really, but it's bobbin work for your serger.
Sure, serger bobbin work.
So on a cover stitch machine, if you have that capability, get out those decorative threads and use them. And here is another one. I love this little kind of wavy version. That
if you're not feeling straight that day,
that's a good idea. About right now, how we feel right now.
Yes,
good. And then just a little reminder, we do have a lot of Bernina people that came to class today, and they were very intrigued about the big book of serging that Bernina put out. So they have the big book of feet, they have the big book of embroidery.
They're great reference books.
Yes, and you were even talking about that a lot of the information in here doesn't matter which serger you have. I mean, a looper's a looper, so
they all have the same parts.
Exactly.
100%. Sarah, can I show you a preview of a pattern to be?
I would love it. Is that what this is?
That's what this little necklace is here. Isn't this just the best fun? This is actually filled cord, rolled hem cord. Use an accessory cording foot and strands of filler cord. that actually make this beautiful variegated cord. So you serge yards and yards of these. Sometimes some of the filler cord has sparkly thread, so we have little twinkles here and there. Then you string them up. You go to a bead store and you just throw yourself on their mercy and say, please show me how to string up all these beads. And I put crystals in between. And it's the prettiest necklace that doesn't look like your latest Serger project.
Yes. And is it just glue, or do you glue it on?
Yes.
Or is there a secret to the trick?
There's a couple of tricks in there, a couple of secrets.
Well, then I can't wait for it to come out.
But that's okay. Here's the thing, Sarah. I know that once we've collected almost as much fabric as we think we need, then we start moving on to other things like beads and thread. And usually if you talk to people who have a fabric stash, we have other things at home, too.
We do like to collect things, though.
Yes, that are pretty and just make us smile. So this is a time for you to pull some of those things up. But it doesn't look like a Serger project. It just looks like how did she do that project? Really, so I'm going to share this, and it's going to be a next pattern to be.
Can't wait.
So this is the preview here.
Preview, first time seen. So this has been lovely.
Yes.
And we have one more workshop tomorrow that we'll be teaching. So we're going to go put our feet up and
maybe get some of that sangria.
Oh, let's do that.
Okay.
But I think apparently we're really good at coming up with more ideas.
Yes.
So we're going to go put our heads together. Thank you for watching. If you can catch Nancy at any of the travels that she gets to do, a lot of times at local Bernina stores, but other stores as well. Yes, you can definitely find her book on Amazon. We'll put some links below for you to find those as well.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for doing this little filming. So much fun.
Thank you so much. Maybe I can get her to do some videos coming up in the future.
I think that would be fun. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Happy serging.